No, there are not many
the other
people.
side, those who are listening are okay, right? They can tolerate.
Yeah, they are okay. They are okay. They have no problems. There are only 4 people who consistently listen,
Okay.
and all the 4 are known to me, so there's no problem.
Okay.
But there are a lot of subscribers for the channel.
Yeah,
300 plus.
Yeah, 300 plus subscriber, and only 4 to 5 people consistently listen. Okay, anyway, so I would like to sincerely congratulate both Bhatt and Padma Shri for the question. So one question from Padma Shri is cleansing the mind. That's very beautiful question. Okay, and mind still exists. And Bhatt's question is even more amazing. Then for eating you require mind. So both are beautiful questions. So yesterday I was contemplating on your question, Padma Shri. Now I got around half a dozen answers, and for Bhatt's question I have 1 dozen answers. So I need to now look at what answers satisfy. So first I will come to your question, Padma Shri, or your view that mind cleaning. So first we need to know what is mind and what is cleaning and what is consciousness. I think that clarity has to be there. So consciousness, if I say I'm conscious or aware, it is just that. There is nothing this or that or whatever it is. It's just that, which is Tattvamasi. So I'll give an example. If I feel I am Vilas, the feeling is one thing, which is mind, but that experience what is got as Vilas is what is consciousness. So mind then feels that there is Vilas. Okay, so if I say that I have a body, then the consciousness makes that experience possible, and the mind feels the body. Okay, so now when we say we are cleansing the mind, what it really means is to bypass the mind.
Is it okay if I interrupt you for
Why no problem. Yeah, go ahead.
No, see, that link which you're saying, no, the consciousness is the one which tells the mind that which allows the mind to experience the body called Vilas.
Correct.
But the point is the mind captures that experience and references it into the memory.
Correct.
That is what I am saying is cleansing. So
Yes.
If you cleanse that, then you don't have that connect.
Then you don't have mind also. No, the question is now after cleansing, does the mind exist? No, the mind doesn't exist at all. That was the answer I wanted to give you. That portion is correct. But after that, is there a mind? No, because there is no feeling. There is nothing to feel. So that is what is the clarity I have to give you. Meaning, you know what is going to happen, Padma Shri. Now I am Vilas. That feeling itself will not be there. It becomes 4 elements.
So when we are talking about these koshas,
Yes.
when we disconnect the Annamaya kosha from the consciousness, okay, does the Annamaya kosha disappear? It is
Yes.
just a disconnection.
No,
It doesn't disappear. It is that connection is lost.
No, it is not
But
like.
the Annamaya kosha is there, meaning people still see the body moving. The reference
Yes,
of the word,
absolutely.
people still see the body moving.
Yes, people still
Right?
feel the body.
So just because we lost the connection does not mean it disappears. It disappears from a perspective of
Of what?
connection. That's all. So for me, I think we are talking about the same thing. You are explaining it.
No, it is not the same thing.
And I am understanding.
No, it is not the same
You know,
thing.
for me, the mind not being there, see, cleansing the mind is not equal to not being there.
No, that is why the reason I wanted to clarify. Cleansing is okay.
Anyway, because that is why I brought the point of experience. Meaning, that is why I immediately interjected, because I will not remember how to tell that portion. But then anyway, you please go ahead. Sorry for interrupting, because
No, you don't have to feel sorry. No, it is fine. This is for you only. So I don't mind stopping it till we...
No, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
No, it's not like that. Anyway, see, the experience...
I'm not saying, no, let me hear the remaining portion, because see, I just wanted to interject because I wanted to, I will forget the way to put it. It was at the right moment. I wanted to add that sentence.
No problem. Absolutely fine. You are not interrupted. It is for you, so I have no problem. I can stop till you finish. Okay, so now what is this happening here? If we were to see, is mind has impressions. Now what is the meaning of cleansing is moving away from impression. So there are two things here. One is a consciousness, another one is the mind with impression. The impressions which is there in the mind feels that impression. So there is something to feel. I feel I am Vilas, or I feel I am a husband, I feel I am having a wife, or I feel I have a son, I feel I have the home. Okay, so let's take these as examples. Now when we say cleansing, it means you are able to see through wisdom, the jnana, what really it is. So in the Jivi Jagat Ishvara, what you are able to now immediately see, meaning you means here the consciousness, not the mind. Able to see is there is no Jagat. Because for Jagat to exist, there should be a mind. Now, I can see that through seed, everything is coming up. Can be a plant, can be a human, can be an animal, can be whatever. So it is not I am doing anything about it. Just another example I can add here is that now the beard is coming on the face. It's not that I am growing the beard. There's nobody to grow the beard. It is there in the seed, so it is coming out. So it's not that somebody is sitting there and then putting in hairs there on my face. So I am growing beard, but the mind says that I am growing beard. I am becoming fat. I am becoming lean. All of that. So this is what is called as mind, which feels that there is something really out there. And it comes into perception. It perceives what it feels. 1 minute. Okay. So it perceives what it really feels. Now what we are trying to do here as consciousness is to stop that feeling and perception. Totally. So then there is no mind. So when we say we are cleansing, we are seeing through wisdom, the jnana, that there is a conceptualization called as wife. There is a conceptualization called as I. There is a conceptualization called as beard. There is a conceptualization called as son or daughter or home or whatever. So today Lata has sent that Yoga Vasista clipping. Okay, that literally falls in the same thing what we are discussing. So if I go with that what has been written there, only when one severes the very root of the mind with the weapon of non-conceptualization can one reach the absolute Brahman, which is omnipresent supreme peace. First, destroy the mental conditioning by renouncing craving. and then remove from your mind even the concept of bondage and liberation. Be totally free of conditioning. And the third one, which talks in bold, is ideas and thoughts are bondage and their coming to an end is liberation. Therefore, be free of them and do whatever has to be done spontaneously. That mind is pure, in which all cravings are in a state of quiescence. Whatever that pure mind wishes, that materializes. So right now my mind is materializing villas and husband and all of that. So I become what I think. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. Okay, so now what I as consciousness is supposed to do is to remove the mind. And mind is always with conditioning. You cannot have a mind and also not have conditions. So when we say purify the mind, purify the mind, purify the mind, it actually means that purify the chitta. Chittas have impressions. So that impression, if it is removed, the container is clean. There is no residue of anything. So how do I do it is the question. How should I interact in the world? Supposing I am going into liberation path, how should I interact with the world? So I'll give some very practical examples. So let's say my wife says that my son is going to college. Immediately I had to remove two things there, or rather three things there: wife, son, and me, and college. Nobody is going anywhere. Consciousness is not going anywhere. It's the body which is going somewhere. And the concept here is the wife, concept here is the son, and concept here is the college. All the three are concept. And me also is the concept. And mine is also a concept. So when my wife, again the my came here, comes, says that your son is going to college, there is no me, there is no your, there is no son, there is no college. This is what I need to keep on practicing. Only for speaking sake, just to have the conversation, you involve. You are involving here without the mind. If I put the mind, what happens? It immediately attaches. It attaches with the craving. The craving here is son. The craving here is wife. Craving here is college. And craving, the biggest craving is me. Because the word says is your son is going to the college. So as soon as those words hit into my ear, the fire starts. That's what we looked at into 5 pandits. So the kleshas are there in each one of them. So because of the vasana. So I would love to have a son. I would love to have a wife. That's the vasana. So now it produces that heat like an inferno. Even though the word spoken is a very nice one, but that word of my son and my wife saying it, and he is in the college, gives me a sense of false security that he is there and he is going to college, he is going to come back. But what is the reality? Reality here is he needs to be fed every 4 hours. So the body has to take food, or you have to put the food to that body, and the body changes, because if he was completely all right, he wouldn't be requiring to eat. So now he is eating means all his previous 4 elements are gone. Prithvi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu are gone. So he is updating basically the elements. So there is no person there. So the Jivi only remains, and the jivi is really struggling because the jivi has Ishvara. So the one which should get liberated is Ishvara, not even the jivi, because jivi comes with raga, with the raga dvesha moha, and also it comes with rajas tamas sattva. So when I say, or when my wife says your son is going to college, college is a tamas, son is a tamas, wife is a tamas, you is also a tamas. All the four are tamas. From sattva, what I need to see is all these four are not really anything to do with me. They have got nothing to do with it. One body is going to something called as college, and it's not my son. There is no concept of, there's a concept of a son. There is no son there, and there is no wife also there. Just for colloquial reasons or for communication reasons, you are saying this. So when these words are spoken, they are spoken into the mind, and the mind fixes it. So what you now do is build an awareness as a dam between the sound and the mind. Now the sound comes and she says your son is going to college. It filters out everything. So there is no son, there is no college, there is no wife, there is no me also. Now it is entered into peace because there is no mind at all. So that's the way we can do it. So if you still keep the mind, let us say I purify and there's a mind, like what you were talking about, the mirror example, it still will collect all the dirt and you have to keep on cleansing it. So to remove the mind once and for all, so there is no mind. Now how do I interact? Yes, you still interact like an actor. You just do the acting, but you are not there. You is nothing but the mind. There is nothing else than you than the mind. So when I say I'm having mana, it means that it is in the mind. So all the sukha, dukkha and labha, jaya, whatever Krishna talks about is in relation to the mind. And that's the reason he says in the 2nd chapter, you are literally not killing anyone, because there is nothing to kill there. What is there to kill? They are going against dharma, so you are cutting them off. Simple. There is no person who is dying, because that consciousness can never be killed. So consciousness will now move to another body based upon its karma. So what are you doing? Nothing. So you just do what you are supposed to do. You are a Kshatriya, so you are supposed to do whatever you are supposed to do. So now I am having a lay life, family life. So I need to pretend I have a son, I have a daughter, I have a wife, I have father, I have mother, I have brother, I have sister, I have neighbor, I have society, all of that. But in reality, inside, there is nothing which is there. So that because there is no mind. Now the question comes, isn't it the mind coming into existence when you are interacting with others? Answer is yes and no. Yes, as far as the other persons think, because they have mind. No, because you know there is no mind. You know it is just through consciousness you are talking. Because there is only that you which never had an end, or it never had a beginning. So you can still interact with people in the office or other ways like this. This is realization. Now if I want liberation, there's no point in getting dirty with even with this, because your literally doing something which is irrelevant. So you walk away, go to a place and stay happily in samadhi, because that is the only thing you can do till the body disintegrates itself. It's going to disintegrate anyway. It is disintegrating moment to moment. So it will be a while when it disintegrates. So the person is liberated once and for all. Any question, Padma Shri? Or any concern on this?
No, Vilas, please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but to your question, for eating food there should be mind. I mean, I don't know whether this answer satisfied that question or not.
Yeah. My question was complete droppage of mind is equivalent to no life. So to have this life, you have to use your mind.
Yes. But that is not true. You can still lead your life without having the mind. Okay, so now to answer...
Can you directly answer this question? Without mind, how can I eat food? Because I cannot recognize food.
No, the recognition... See, the food is food. It doesn't have any recognition at all, right? It has six states. That's all what is real. Other things are all false. It has katu, it has lavana, it has tikta, it has madhura, like that. It has no other taste. It has got nothing else other than these six. So, direct answer to it is, real is six taste. Unreal is all the name what we have given.
What is that? The nutrients inside?
Nutrients inside is again Prithvi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. That's all. What else do you have as a nutrient? It is coming from mud.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay, yes.
So the wisdom here, the jnana here is you are feeding mud to another mud. That's all. Correct? No?
That is convincing answer.
Yeah.
And the question is, again the question is, the word you are using, the feeding, that is from the mind.
The feeding is nothing but you are replacing or whatever it is, right? Now you cannot kill yourself. You cannot end
See, without mind this cannot happen, right? Mind is needed.
No, mind. So now again we have to see what does the mind do.
No, you can quickly give one word answer. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Let
So,
explain big. I was listening to you so far.
okay, see, without mind, can you eat? Yes. It is all these elements you are eating. That's all. That is a reality. That is a prajna. Now, do you require mind to interact?
See, absolutely, if you say no mind means equivalent, you are already moksha. You will not take birth here.
Yes,
Now the
absolutely.
question is, I have taken birth. I have mind. I am eating. So I am using only one thing is out of 100% mind, 0.001% maybe I am using for eating food. This is what you say? No mind is needed. That doubt I still have.
No, see, everything is eating only, but so first you will get to realize that whatever intellectualization is also eating only. So you will stop.
No, eating happens because of mind only. No? Otherwise, you
Correct.
will not eat when there is no mind.
No, you will physically eat, but there is nothing to enjoy that taste. See, all the five
I have understood
Physically
that
eat,
part.
but the recognition of the fact that you are having hunger and then you are searching for food and eating is happening because of the mind. You cannot.
Yeah, that's
see.
right.
It is intellectualization to tell that yes, it has got nothing to do. Meaning, taste is nothing. All these are yes. I fully agree. Meaning, you bring the awareness that this is nothing. It's again intellectualization only. But you require the mind. When you keep it clean, you are not referencing. For example, you are eating, but then you are saying the taste is good, the taste is bad. So again, you are referencing something. If you are eating without any requirement, meaning comparison, then you are in the right. Meaning you have already control the mind. You cannot say the mind is not there. The mind is there. You are not associated with the memories which are resident in the mind.
Yeah, same thing what I'm trying to say.
I still don't agree, Vilas, but it's okay because I think we will go into one round
No, it is okay.
discussion because
No, even if it goes...
it is not okay because we will be saying the same thing in different ways. So I feel we will leave it now because we will realize. I'm sure either one of us will realize. Meaning, if you're saying mind is not there. And if that is right, I will realize at some point in time, yes, mind is not there. And at some point in time, if you feel that yes, mind is required, then it will be changing at some point in time because it will always happen like that. All of us are in the path, so I still don't agree to the fact that mind
No
will
problem.
be not there.
Nah, you keep it. You pass it aside.
That is why I said we will go ahead and move forward, and then the corrections will happen as we are getting more enlightened.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my feeling is, based on the explanation so far, anything you do as karya, we are not attached to that. There is no attachment. So it is pure. That is divinity. So this is karya, what is happens. But mind is required for doing the karya, but you are not attached to that. Which means it's a clear. It's like 100% transparent. So no karma is attached. So it is karya. So mind is needed. That's what I'm telling.
No.
And your logic is, if you have mind, it is nothing but it is samsara.
Yes, see, I'll tell
But
you.
when the karya mind is not samsara.
See, when you say transparent, there is no mind. For anything to be transparent, it should not have anything inside at all. Otherwise, it cannot become Purna by itself. Because there is something already there.
I agree that logic. That is convincing me.
Yeah, so in that case, mind and consciousness both cannot coexist.
That also I agree.
So now
I have no dispute there.
So now the question has arisen that there should be a mind even after purification. Mind should be there.
No, after purification, no. See, after everything is over, no mind. That is what final moksha.
Yes.
But now I have no moksha now. I'm still
in this context only, the moment you say that, okay, I recognize you as a conscious, meaning when I'm interacting with you, I recognize you as a conscience, I'm already not having the mind. If you don't have the mind, you don't do that, you recognize it as a consciousness, is what is one theory. The other theory is, yes, you recognize the other person as the consciousness because you are not referencing to anything in the memory that is there, because memory will be there, mind will have the memories, and you only don't reference them. That is the only control you are having.
Yes.
Because you cannot kill the mind, you cannot kill the memory, you cannot kill anything that is there.
Yes, absolutely. See, that is what we
So
say.
it is not there, it is there, but you are making it inert. That is where I'm saying you're cleaning the glass. You're cleaning the glass and making it
Call
inert.
it by whatever name, Padma Shri. What we need.
Exactly. That is what I'm saying. We both are saying the same thing. But then in the beginning you said, no, we are not saying the same.
No, when you say there is a cleaning a glass, see, that is a figurative speech, that's all. But when you really experience whatever we are
That is
talking...
a way of explaining. That is a way of explaining, Vilas. Because all of them require words to explain, right?
Exactly.
What I'm feeling, it's a way of explaining it. But then if you're saying, but there is a distinct difference between when I say there is no mind and then I'm saying the mind is clean because it is not going to reference to anything that is already there. So you're making the chitta or the vasanas to a bija form where it is not having any food, light and energy to grow and make comparison to. Because vasanas will be there, chittas will be there, mind will be there, because if you have to recognize that chittas are there, recognize that vasanas are there, you require the mind. So mind will be there, but only thing is you will not reference anything that is there in the mind. So you are telling mind is not there when you don't reference. I'm telling mind is there, but it will not reference. So that is the difference in the way we are telling it. So it is figurative in both cases.
Fine.
So
whatever way you want to take it, because then beyond this, it just gets garbled out, either from my side or from your side.
Right. That is why I said we will leave it, because it will not be fully, and if cleaning the mind is not equivalent to not being there, yes, fine, it is, but it is cleaning the mind.
Fine.
So it's fine.
Okay, no issues. No worries. Okay, so now, but what is the trailing question after this?
No, don't have. Now I'm fine. Whatever Padmashri and you discuss now, same thing.
Okay, no worries.
Maybe I think when we go through this, we will get much more clarity if there are any doubts. Go through this
Fine.
Vivekachudamani. But it was very good discussion.
Yeah, it is indeed. And this whole around 8-9 shlokas are going to have a very nice journey. Anyway, so
Yes.
170th verse. So now he explains what is mind. He says, Swapne arte shunye srijati swashakyata bhoktradi vishvam manaha eva sarvam tatha eva jagrati api na u visheshah tat sarvam etat manasah vijrambanam. Swapna artha shunye, in the state of dream, though there is no sense object, srijati swashaktaya, on its own power, it creates the senses. So it throws open its own faculty of sensing, even though all the 5 senses are asleep, they are not connected. Bhoktradi Vishwam, enjoyership and doership, the universe. Manaha eva sarvam, the mind itself and everything else in that. Tataha eva jagrati api, similarly in the waking state also. Na u visheshaha, there is no difference. So dream equals waking, they both are same. Tat sarvam etat manasaha vijrambanam, all this, the pluralistic phenomena of nature, without any exception, is but a projection of the mind. So if we say we are in waking state, it is the mind. If we say we are in dream state, again it is the mind. Both are untrue. Any questions? So if I say I'm eating vegetable biryani, it is the mind, and hence in the waking state also it is untrue, because that vegetable biryani doesn't exist. Or I'm eating idli, vada, sambar, chutney, that doesn't exist. I'm working for so and so company, that doesn't exist. All these are equivalent to dream. And now comes having a wife, son, daughter, blah blah, all that is also a dream. They don't exist. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, this is all in the manas. That is very, very clear.
Yes.
This is where the difference between Shankara and Madhva's teachings, right?
Yes.
Madhva says the prapancha what you see is you are experiencing Jagrata Avastha.
Correct.
So that it is not unreal, it is real.
It is real.
Shankara says ultimate real is
Only Brahman.
only Brahman.
Correct.
Okay, I got it. I think very clear. I think both philosophies very, very clear.
Yes. So that is the reason the Madhva people mock this 170th shloka. Because now there is no Jagrata Avastha at all.
Yeah.
Both are dream. So both require mind.
Yeah, Yes, that is the common thing here. Both requires mind.
So my answer to, or my, all this time I was trying to explain is, for consciousness, if you are that consciousness, then there is no mind. Whether you call it as cleaned mind, uncleaned mind, or whatever it is, there is no mind. You transcend the mind. You cannot remove all the taints which it has. You have to move away from the mind, just like what Krishna explains in the 18th chapter also, that you have to transcend beyond the sattva, rajas, tamas. You can't do anything about it. So when we go to office, when we sit in the meeting, we are going to see only sattva, rajas, tamas in various quantity. That's all. There is no person. There is no personality also. Out of compassion, you are trying to help him out in whatever best way possible, because he is having tamas, or the other person has rajas, another person has some sattva, or more tamas, more rajas, and more sattva, or whatever in combination. But that is all defective only. Just like we have vata, pitta, kapha, which is defects, dosha. This sattva, rajas, tamas is also a dosha. Nothing you can do. Mind means dosha. You cannot remove everything from the mind and say that, oh, now it is sparkling clean. Because the waking state and dream state both are same.
So, this is like a garbage box.
Yes.
Mind is always, anything you bring, it is garbage, waste.
Yes, it is a waste. That's what it is.
And when you bring, that is because of ajnana. The moment ignorance goes away, you don't have mind.
Yeah, when their ignorance is not there, mind also goes away along with ignorance.
Mind is not there.
Mind is not there.
Yeah, and you can, that's the reason we say spirituality you can't understand using the mind or intellect, because those are the instruments below.
Yes.
It is only experiential. Spirituality can mind is not experience spirituality, right?
No.
Only spirituality experiences
Itself.
spirituality.
It itself is itself. That's the reason.
Itself.
So that is the reason he always, Shankara uses a very nice phrase. He says Tattvam Asi. This is the first thing. And then Satchidananda Swarupam Shivoham Shivoham.
Yes.
He cannot explain anything beyond this. Because for everything else you require mind.
Yes.
Only
So for jnanam you don't need, you should not have mind.
Yes.
But for bhakti you need mind. Can I say that way?
Yes, yes. You require mind for bhakti.
Okay.
So that is the reason these are two distinct paths. One is a bhakti is different than jnana. But ultimately bhakti also will lead to jnana only. It is not
Lead to finally that only. Yes, that understood. That
yeah.
understood.
But this is a difficult path. Actually, this path, what we have taken, jnana marga, is the most difficult.
So, this Vivekachudamani, you cannot use your mind to understand. You have
Yes.
to experience. That's what you have been telling.
Yes.
Without experience, no meaning here. It's a spiritual entertainment.
Yes, because there is no experiencer at all. You are that experiencer. You means that original consciousness, not the duplicate one called as mind. So through mind you cannot experience anything.
Yeah, but here, Sushupti is a state, and if you enjoy that Sushupti in Jagrata, that is called your
Turiya. That is
Turiya.
That is a Turiya. So
And Turiya is also not moksha, right? Or Turiya is moksha. Yeah.
Turiya is the
What do you call that?
starting. Turiya is the stepping stone to moksha.
Okay.
So you should remain in Turiya stuff forever.
Yes, forever. And from there you will just
Jump.
detach from here and
Yes.
go there, jump.
Yes. You just jump. So what your exact question is answered in 171.
Uh-huh.
You just see the first line itself is that.
Sushupti kale manasi pralineti.
Na eva asti kinchit sakala prasiddhehe ataha manaha kalpita eva pumsaha samsara etasya na vastutaha asti. So sushupti kale manasi praline. Pralina means causal state. It goes into sattva rajas tamas state. It doesn't become manomaya kosha at all. There is no manomaya kosha. Na eva asti kinchit. Nothing perceivable exists. That's the reason I was telling you, we feel and we perceive. That is called as mind. I feel I am Vilas, and because I feel I am Vilas, I perceive Vilas. I feel I have a wife and I perceive the wife. I feel I have a son and I perceive the son. That's all what the mind does. Nothing else it does. It feels, it perceives. It feels, it perceives. That's all. There is an inherent feeling. There is a feeling of ABB and there is a perception of ABB. If there is no feeling of ABB, then there cannot be any perception of ABB at all. And another thing is that if we are in hospital, see, let's take COVID example. You feel you have COVID, so you perceive COVID. If you don't feel COVID, you can never perceive COVID. That is called as Shushupti. So if you feel Chitraanna, you perceive Chitraanna. If you feel it as just a rice, then you perceive only rice. If you feel, or if you now bring wisdom and see that it is mud, feeling and perception goes away. So there is no mind. So what I am eating is mud. Because the plant has come from mud. It is going to another mud body, that's all. So now the pot and clay is understood properly. Because of the clay, pot is getting made. Different shapes, different size of human beings, animals, and all of that is coming from that clay only. And clay is been put there due to vasana. Okay. So these vasanas are the one which create samsara. So in Shushupti, there is no samsara because the vasanas are dormant. So nothing is perceived. So he says Sakya.
So in Sushupti,
Yeah.
The manas is disconnected from
Everything.
this GV, right? GV.
Yes, from the GV.
When manas is disconnected from GV, so GV is different, manas is different now.
Yes.
There are two things.
Yes, they have become two things. So the Jagat is gone, GV is also gone. There is no experiencer, right?
1 minute, this is the interesting one. So Sushupti Kale, GV is different, manas is different. And here, manas is again is not real. GV is also not real here.
GV is not real because it has Ishvara. Without Ishvara, there is no GV at all, right?
But inside that, Ishvara is there in manas, in GV, right? GV inside.
GV, yes, in GV, Ishvara is there. That is the Atma.
But during that time, for manas, when it is separate, it needs some food to survive.
No.
What is the food there?
It requires only this Nama and Rupa. That's the food.
But manas is vanished, right? It is not there.
And that's the reason you don't experience anything in that deep sleep state at all, right?
Yeah.
You can't say what
Every
did you
day I
do.
used to think that, when I wake up, how suddenly that memory comes back. At that instant, to flash up a second.
Yes, because mind comes back in 5 stages. I think we have spoken about it. So first stage is it becomes Mudha, then it will be Kshipta, it becomes Vikshipta, then Kshipta, then Ekagrata, then Niruddha. So if you look at Mudha, as soon as somebody wakes you up suddenly, the mind comes back, and you are totally confused.
Yes.
Okay, suddenly somebody wakes you up, you are literally confused, you're muda, you don't know where you are, right?
Yeah.
Hey, why did you wake me up like that? Is the next question, which because it is vikshipta, it's scattered everywhere.
Yes.
Then
yes.
suddenly you condense it. It becomes kshipta. Kshipta means coming together. Then ekagrata. That's all what we experience. But one who has gone beyond, which is the state of turiya, will always be in niruddha.
Okay, again the question. During this sushupti time, the mind is there everywhere, all over. It is there along with that body somewhere.
Mind is not with body. This is where the science and spirituality differs. Science says that mind is there in the brain because we are able to see all this neuron firing and all that, right? So whereas mind is one thing and body is another thing.
Where it goes, mind?
Mind is everywhere. It is a universal feeling and universal perception. So when something is touched on the body, the mind then comes out.
So it is not along with the body.
It's not at all there in the body, and that's the reason.
But GV is along with the body during that time.
The GV is the prana.
Yeah, that is within the body. Right?
That is within the
survives.
body.
It's breathing. Okay.
It's breathing.
I got clarity because you told in the beginning classes the memory you are recalling from the not within your brain. It is coming from outside. It is there everywhere.
Yes, it's coming from outside, and that's the reason.
That is the reason this Rishi Munis also drishtaras. They're getting that knowledge from somewhere.
Yes.
Even you get some knowledge from somewhere, not from your stored memory.
Exactly. And also you will, because of that only you can remember all your past life. Otherwise, if it is in the body.
Yeah. And also when the knowledge comes from you to me, because knowledge is already there.
Yes.
You have taken it and through verbally and all that you are giving to me.
Correct. So that is all.
Knowledge means it is there everywhere.
It is there with you already in the mind. So there is only.
You are unlocking it.
Yes, there's only one single mind. Just like there is one single consciousness, there is one single mind.
So your mind and my mind is different.
It is same, but what is difference is the rajas, tamas, sattva. That's all is different.
Mind is same. Yeah,
mind is
clear.
exactly the same.
Okay.
And that is the reason it is universal mind.
Mind is universal. That is the statement of day today.
The difference arises like what Padma Shri took a very nice example of a mirror. The mirror gets broken up into 100 parts. So you have 100 now people there. Each having its own rajas, tamas, sattva. But it's only one single mirror.
Okay.
Now, what does the mind do? In you, me, Padma Shri, Lata, or anybody else, including animal and all that, what does it do? It perceives something, it feels something, that's all. You feel your butt. That's all what you feel. And you perceive your butt, that's all. Now you feel you are from the coastal region. You feel, right? Are you sure you are from that region? It's your feeling. Similarly,
yes,
because there is a name given called as Mangalore, there's a name given called Bangalore and all that, that is what conceptualization is. So you conceptualize, oh, this is my hometown. Okay, and Jalasur is your hometown. So you get connected. Who gets connected? The feeling gets connected with perception. So now you feel it is your mind. Like that. So everybody feels the same, but in different quantities of rajas, tamas, sattva. So that is the reason Krishna says, what you call as a person is nothing but rajas, tamas, sattva. So why are you worrying about you are killing an uncle and this and that? There is only rajas, tamas, sattva. There is nobody else there.
Yes.
So he answers to Krishna's question, or rather Arjuna's question, that why are we doing this? He says that if they were doing dharma, that means if they had sattva, they won't be doing what they are doing, right?
Yeah, sattva you won't be doing.
You won't be doing. So the five villages, what they asked, they were not interested in that also. Just to have a parity and to establish dharma, they asked for 5. And he says that I'll not give even a small needle space also. That is his mind. It is corrupted. So now you have to destroy the mind. You are not destroying the consciousness. You are destroying the mind. So when Duryodhana dies, who dies is the mind. That's all. He could have killed it while being alive by becoming spiritual. That's all.
Yes.
Okay, good. So now we'll go further. Lata, you're totally silent. It's 50 plus minutes.
But interesting discussion, so I was listening. So
Yeah.
I guess we need to have real experiences. Then all these words will lose all the meanings. How are we conceptualize? So one experience is needed.
Yeah, so there is one question on live. Okay, so let me read out. Can the question be repeated for the late joiner? I joined 3-4 minutes late. So the question here is that there are 2 questions from 2 people here. So one question is that, or rather it's not a question, it's a statement saying that mind will exist even after the mind getting cleaned. That means you require mind even after cleaning. So it is going to be there. And the answer was no, and the answer from the other side is no, it is required, but it is not having any impressions and all that, but still mind exists. That is one of the answer. And second question was that if mind doesn't exist, then how will one eat? So that is where the discussion started, and we are here. And another question which has come there is, what is niruddha? Niruddha. Nir means not. Like nirodha, nirodha is nirodha. That means it doesn't arise. Niruddha. Uddha means to have a bhava, meaning a becoming. So niruddha means there is no becoming, there is no further becoming, there is no bhavatarana. I don't become father again. Simple. In a very simple words, if I were to talk about. So we always get into 4 levels of mind. One is the Mudha, then Vikshipta, Kshipta, Ekagrata. Niruddha, we don't get into it at all. Because for that you require to be in meditation all the time. Niruddha means there is no mind. Simple. Mind doesn't exist. So when we sleep, the mind goes and dies. Okay, so there is no experience. Suddenly somebody wakes up, the mind comes back. And when the mind comes back, it is in the first stage, Mudha. Like I can see it in my son, but whenever he wakes up in the morning, he takes minimum 5 minutes to get up from his bed. Okay, now why does that happen? Because it happens due to the reason that his mind is having tamas. There are a lot of people you can see, they will first get up, sit in one side, and then they will start stretching their body. Then they will look at, okay, how should I get down? And then they get down, and then they will start to, some people, they come and sit on the sofa for some time before they go for brushing the teeth. You would have really watched it. That happens because of tamas. So the mudatva is there in the mind. Then everything is scattered. So there is Vikshipta. So now somebody he will start looking at the WhatsApp messages. Then after some time he'll drink some water. Then he will go and brush the teeth, which will be half an hour. This is not about my son, but I'm just saying that you can watch people doing that.
Correct.
That is called as Vikshipta.
Vikshipta.
Third one is Kshipta. Kshipta means bringing together. So you exactly know, as soon as you get up, you exactly know what to do.
Third one is called Kshipta, right?
Yeah, third one is called as Kshipta. Kshipta. Kshipta means bringing together. Fourth one is Ekagrata. So what you need to develop in the mind before sleep. So you need to utter Gayatri or some mantra before you sleep. Because when the mind wakes up, it doesn't get into Mudha, Vikshipta, Kshipta, it will immediately get into Ekagrata.
If you are in Satvik.
You are in Sattvic.
Okay.
Okay, and that is the reason 3:30 waking up is good, because it will create Sattvic tendency.
Brahmi Murta.
Brahmi Murta. So the mind which comes, it's a different mind, but please understand this. It's not the same mind. There is nothing called as mind which existed from my birth. No. It keeps on changing.
There's something in Kannada, na? Vidyati radim yadda karana muddu maguvige buddhi sanadu.
Yes. Correct. That's the right one. So when we wake up, there is no mind. When you sleep, there is no mind. Mind comes at runtime. It is a software. It comes up at runtime.
Yes.
But you as consciousness existed all the time. That's what it is.
You are witnessing all 4 stages.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes. So if
Only thing is you are not recognizing in the Mudha stage like Jagrata Avastha.
Yes.
Only when you get to Ekagrata, only it is possible.
Yes. So the objective is to remove the mind, because mind is a hindrance.
Yes.
So the cleansing exercise is to remove the mind, because then it will go to all the states. It will go from Mudha to Vikshipta to Kshipta to Ekagrata. Again it goes.
So we have only 2 minutes. So if you are having that Ekagrata, can I say it is also a stage of meditation?
Yes, Ekagrata is meditation.
Or
only.
it is just awareness?
No. It is meditation. Niruddha is awareness.
Niruddha. That is Niruddha. You said Mudha, Vikshipta,
Fifth one.
Kshipta and Ekagrata.
No, we will be there in 4. One who experiences Turiya will be in 5th all the time.
Oh, Turiya is 5th. Okay.
Turyasta, Turiya Avastha, what you have, when you get the taste of Turiya, it will drop off the 3, which is Mudha, Vikshipta and Kshipta. What remains is only Ekagrata, Niruddha.
Ekagrata and Niruddha.
And in Niruddha,
Niruddha is also a state of mind?
yes, Niruddha is a state of mind where the mind doesn't exist.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
It neither arises nor it passes away. It is not there. But see, the thing is, you existed from all the time immemorial. Mind has been existing depending upon the situations. So you remove to remove the mind, you remove the situation. The moment you remove situation, there is no mind. So you're always in Ekagrata. You means you are always, your true nature is Ekagrata only. And then your awareness is, when you say aware, like what we used to talk and what Lata saw as awareness meditation, that is Niruddha. There you can see that you don't walk, the body walks because of you. So if somebody goes from one room to another room, there is no person going into one room to another room. The body is walking to another room, and if the consciousness goes away from there, then neither the room exists nor the body exists. That is called Niruddha.
It is 9:30. Very nice.
Okay, so we'll meet again tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, Monday.
Monday.
Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you.
Lata, I think you had complete silence.
Yeah, I was just listening.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Padmashri, for the question. Anyway,
Yeah. Good question.
yeah. Thank you. Bye.
One question triggered, one full hour.
That's good.
Thank
No.
you. Bye.
That is the way it has to be.
Yes.
This is called a spiritual spark.
Yes. No, if we are going shloka by shloka, it doesn't make any sense, to be honest.
We
Because
need to have these debates for every shloka.
yes, we need to have fight. Forget the debate. I want
If we
all.
have debate like this, I am sure we will definitely reach that stage of one step above what we are now. Means enlightenment, right?
Yes. See the
I
thing.
think before Vivekachudamani over, we will reach there.
Yes, absolutely. I want you, three of you, to fight with me, saying that what you are talking is not making any sense. Then that helps. If you just accept to whatever I say, it is not good. And that doesn't mean that you should keep on fighting with me. That is also not good. But it is good to give a fight, saying that no, I don't
Yeah,
agree.
clarity.
Yeah, then only it makes sense. Otherwise, it doesn't.
Debate.
Yeah, you need to have a debate, and also you should also check. You should also check in me whether I'm taking it personally or not, and that shows how much of klesha or the impurity are there in the mind. See, it is Padmashri question or your question. It is what is that it triggers in me is the question. If it is going to, I'm going to feel totally agitated of your question or Padmashri's question. Then I myself require some teacher to tell me what I should do. So yesterday, after the question, I was just contemplating and I got lot of answers. And it's good that Padmashri went away at 9:25, since I couldn't answer, and then you went away at 9:30. So it gave me a good clarity that if I wait enough, the answers are going to come in dozens. Okay, all right. So we'll meet on Monday.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vilas.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Vilas.
Yeah, bye.